Hello everyone, my name is Casey and today we're going to take a closer look under the hood, literally, to explore how car engines work. Engines power nearly every vehicle on the road, but how exactly do they work? Today we're going to go over three main things. Firstly, what a car engine is and what it does. Secondly, we'll go over the components that keep it running. And thirdly, we'll dive into the factors that affect and influence its performance. By the end of the presentation, you'll have a clearer understanding of an engine's mechanism and why proper maintenance is so important. Quickly, the target audience for my Slidecast are people um, who are interested in learning about car engines. Maybe you're a student studying automobiles, or just a car owner looking to understand your vehicle better. Or you could be someone who just enjoys learning about how things work. No matter what your background is, by the end of this, you'll be a step closer to knowing what happens every time you turn the ignition. So let's talk about the key components and their functions. A car engine is a well coordinated system of parts, each with its own critical job. Let's break them down one by one. The engine block is the foundation of the car engine. It holds everything together and contains cylinders where combustion takes place. Think of it as a housing that withstands extreme pressure, heat, and the force to keep everything in motion. Inside each cylinders, you'll find the pistons. Pistons are constantly moving up and down like tiny elevators inside the engine block. Their job is to compress fuel and air and then transfer energy when the explosion happens. Every time you press the gas pedal, you're telling the piston to work harder. Now, pistons move up and down, but that motion isn't useful for turning the wheels, is it? That's where a crankshaft comes in play. It takes the up and down movement of the pistons and converts it into a rotational force which ultimately which ultimately drives the car forward. On top of the engine block sits the cylinder head, which contains valves that control airflow. Think of them as doors that open and close at precise moments, allowing fuel and air to enter, then letting exhaust gases escape after combustion. This precise timing is what keeps the engine running smoothly. If the valves are the door, the camshaft is the doorman. It ensures that the intake and exhaust valves open and close at right times, keeping everything synchronized. The camshaft is connected to the crankshaft via a timing belt or chain, making sure all moving parts are in perfect harmony. Let's talk about the factors that affect the engine performances. Not all engines perform the same way, and several factors affect and influence how powerful an engine can be. One of the biggest factor is the fuel type. Gasoline and diesel engine operate differently. Diesel engines are more fuel efficient but noisier when gasoline engines run smoother. There's a huge difference between gasoline engine and a diesel engine. Another factor is the engine size. A larger engine produces more power but burns more fuel, whereas a smaller engine is more efficient but lacks performance for high speed driving. Lastly, maintenance is a key role as well. A well maintained engine lasts longer and runs better. Regular oil changes, clean air filters, and healthy spark plugs help keep things running smoothly and prevent engine failures. That brings us to the end of the presentation. I hope this gave you a deeper appreciation of what's happening under the hood every time you start a car. Thank you for your time, and I'll be happy to answer any of the questions that you might have.